I do believe that the future looks like billionaires don't have teams. And I believe that's going to happen because of the AI and the experiences.
Because AI makes me a genius now.
100%.
Any idea that I have, any thought that I have, I can now take it from mental creation and turn that into a physical action. I'm not waiting for permission. I'm creating the table.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wealth Creator Podcast. I am your host, Justin Berry, and today I got a very special guest, man. Upon meeting this guy, I think this episode is going to serve a lot of value to you. You're going to hear us talk about some things that we can relate on as far as where we're from, what we do, but you're also going to hear us give you a lot of value on business. I think what he does is serve a community not only of like-minded individuals from all aspects of life, but really serves a community that also represents who he is and what he's about. And so I'm going to introduce to you all Arturo Johnson.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Yes, sir, man.
Yes.
You're here. Traveling all the way from Indianapolis.
Yeah, man, this been a dream come true just to come here. And I'm excited, bro. I'm just excited to sit down, this opportunity that you guys have been so gracious to show us around, and you didn't have to. And it's been incredible. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man, we're excited to have you. Just to get the opportunity to kind of show you around what we got going on. Opportunity to talk to Ryan.
Yeah, that was cool.
I definitely always try to get anybody that comes through here that opportunity. Just because of all his experience, man. Like, I've been with him for 5 years, so I've had to see things, scale and grow and different things happen. But I think people can kind of have a misrepresentation of the individuals that are here from the videos and the content.
Right.
And I'm hoping that upon that conversation, after that conversation, you kind of got a better feel for the type of individual he is and what, and how he kind of leads this company.
Yeah, I think nothing changed, honestly. It's, you want to meet people in person to see if they're the same person that shows up on camera. But it wasn't meeting him. It was the things that you said about him when he wasn't there, which is like, that's that integrity, that reputation, that brand, right? Because a brand is nothing more than what you stand for, what you symbolizes in the story and the legend of what people say when your name comes to mind.
No, that's awesome, man. And I'm glad to hear that. Like, I hope that who we are is shown through our actions and through our words well beyond what it is we're able to accomplish.
Right.
Accomplishments are great. Success is great. But if that's all you have, I think you're left with nothing.
Right.
And so I hope that that's shown. I'm glad to hear that you were able to feel that from our energy. I want to get into it, man, because you specialize in something that I think is going to be the future of business. And that is the one-person business model.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So the one-person business model is where you're able to package your expertise and your knowledge and turn it, leveraging AI, and productize it, package it, which is why the name of the book is called Productize. How do we turn our skill set, information, something that's valuable to the marketplace? And we know that it's valuable because we're probably either a corporate executive, employee, or something. And how do we package that and turn that into something that serves us so that we can stop selling our time for money and build something with AI that's a business that kind of runs itself with that leverage, a machine that operates. And so as I've been helping people, like I started out as helping just financial advisors and life insurance agents. And I realized that I was creating a system to help them to generate leads to build their business from clients. And then as I'm working with my camera crew and videographers and stuff, they start productizing their knowledge and helping other people with their businesses. And then a fitness coach and then a barber. So I'm helping all these people. And I'm like, what is it that I'm doing? It's like, oh, they have a unique skill set that solves a problem that's perpetual. And they've been able to productize that and turn it into something that's perpetually pays them forever.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this because I think it's interesting when I hear it phrased as the one-person business. Because when we first, we're in the AI revolution right now, right? And as things start to grow and scale, you see companies downsizing their staff and all these things happening. Like, there's layoffs. You hear about them all the time, even in big corporations, right? Because there are tools being developed that you can use to replace the individual and those tools don't take days off.
Right.
They don't need health insurance.
Right.
And so we're seeing that. And while that can be scary for people, I look at it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I do believe that the future looks like billionaires don't have teams. They're one person operating a massive $1 billion business from wherever they're located. And I believe that's going to happen because of the AI and the experiences. So when I hear that, it makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
And no matter at what level you're at, there's opportunity to implement, AI as a tool to kind of get closer to that one person business. Right. I would love to have one person business where I can keep all profit and grow that way, right?
Well, that's what drives it though is, in business, right? Like in the beginning, you had to scale with labor, which is people. Mm-hmm. And, as you guys got a big operation around here, that's complexity.
Yeah.
You got, you have the schedule, but people have lives and occurrences happen.
Yep.
Murphy's Law happens. And so the 40 hours that they're supposed to work, let's be honest, they're not working those 40 hours, but then something happens in their lives that they can't show up or they need time off. Well, who's going to do their job? Mm-hmm. So I can either thrust it into giving to someone else. So now they're trying to do two people's job and execute that. Or you can use leverage, right? Which is code or media in the form of AI, which is this ultimate intelligence to where they will never take a day off. They'll never call in sick. It gets better over time with repetition. Yep. And now it can do one person's job 100 times better, and it could do 10 people's job all at the same time. And so as you're thinking about this, some people are resisting the AI thing, but that's all from, a little bit of fear and ignorance, right? As you get comfortable with something and you learn more about it, there's always pros and cons to everything. So if you choose to look at the negative side, it's going to appear negative.
Yeah.
But if you look at the positive side, it does. And what you should be looking at it is, how can I use this this ultimate intelligence to make me a genius? Because AI makes me a genius now.
100%.
Any idea that I have, any thought that I have, I can now take it from mental creation and turn that into a physical action.
100%. I mean, I'm part of it. I've seen businesses that started on ChatGPT, right? The idea generation goes from that to implementation, and then it goes from that to scaling. Mm-hmm. And I've witnessed it in a matter of 90 days.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's 100% true. You're absolutely right about it. I guess what I would ask you next, because you do coach, you do help individuals grow in that way. How do you change the mindset and remove the fear?
Well, where does the fear come from, right? It either comes from not understanding the technology or, not using it, right? Because so information doesn't give you knowledge, right?
Right.
Because we have all the information. We don't have in the world right now, we don't have a lack of information. We have a lack of application, and that's where the knowledge comes from. The knowledge is in the doing. Mm-hmm. So if you're not using it, you won't be able to understand how this can benefit you. So I would say if somebody is having fear about it, the only thing you need to do to combat fear is to take action. So, for example, I have a guy who cuts my hair. He's a barber, and he was scared about raising his prices. He was scared about changing his profile name because it had been his identity for a long time. Mm. And he had a ton of resistance about that. And I was like, well, let's leverage content, right? AI, and let's see what happens if we make these changes. And it probably took me 90 days before he did it. And he texts me every morning now because he's like, man, I should have done this a long time ago. And what he did was he productized his service, he raised his price, and he started leveraging AI to organize the captions in his bio. Mm-hmm. And from that, he went from, when I would search his name now, I'm like, hey man, I follow you. Look at this. I follow you. And when I pull up Indianapolis Barber, you're not on here. So do you know how much money this is costing you? Yeah. Look at these guys. Are they better barbers than you? The game isn't being the best, it's the best known. And if I can't find you using this intelligence, this AI that does this search engine, you're losing customers. Do you need another appointment today? How many do you got? 4? How many do you really want? I want 8. This is costing you money. Mm-hmm. So let's leverage AI to make you more searchable and findable on here. And now his calendar's booked, and he's getting 3,000 to 5,000 views on a haircut.
Yeah. I mean, and that's SEO, that's marketing, that's all those things tied up. And Now you don't have to go learn those things. Because I always see it like that we have guests that come in, they're like top marketers in the country, or they're top sales guys in the country, they're top fill in the blank. And what I love listening to all of it is none of you all, like, you're only doing sales because you don't know marketing.
Exactly.
And you're doing marketing because you don't know personal branding. And you're doing, the person that understands how to create all of that for themselves usually wins, usually is at a higher level than everyone else because all of it's necessary. And what I'm hearing you say for your barber is as simple as what you're worried about is literally the least of your worries.
Like, and the thing you're worried about is the thing that's actually going to make you the money.
It's going to make you all the money.
Make you all the money.
Right? You're worried about a name change, but you're not worried about who's seeing it. I go, what does it matter if your name changes if no one knows you're there, right?
Yeah.
No matter, like, and that's what I always say, like, for people like that, especially the beginners that are either hearing or watching this, the best time to try these things is when no one's looking. And right now, no one's seeing you. Right? So it's like right now is the best time for you to throw out and test everything that you want to do, right? And so use those AI tools to the best of your ability to test everything. You can change that bio as many times as you want. You want somebody to see it, and that's the point. And so it's like get after it, and that way. I know for me, when I educate people on like on the content side of things, specifically personal branding, my goal is always to draw out who they are because that's their uniqueness. And what they don't understand is that you don't have to go and present as someone else that you've seen. A lot of people draw influence from people, and they're trying to be the individual that they're drawing influence from, versus being themselves. Your superpower is your uniqueness. And there's so much power in that you're going to attract those that feel that from you, right? And so like now, I'm seeing it now, like the landscapes are changing, right? So like we had the guru era where it was like, I say it with conviction, so you should do it. Whether or not I've done it or not, I know how to speak with conviction, so you should go do it too and pay me for this, this information. It goes from that to people slowly start to lose trust in those gurus. I gave him 20 grand and he gave me an hour and I don't feel like I learned anything. So I don't trust it anymore. And as more and more of these gurus pop up, less and less trust happens online.
Yeah, we definitely in a trust recession. Yeah, for sure.
So then you go from that phase to now the only people that are getting the attention and that are still able to attract and close customers are those that you can see the business flourish. You can see the business. So now it ain't just online anymore that I trust you. I need to come see you. There better be some type of event or some type of a moment that I can come see you. And now I'm like, okay, he is doing, oh man, all these people here, they're all listening. Oh, that's how many houses he bought. He's showing me. All those things now are proof, right? Now I need some proof that it is. And
we're in the show don't tell era, right? Which
I don't care about your telling.
But I think for what you're saying though, is it's like you've got to earn the business these days, which I'm cool with that. The experts, the people who's got all of that, got all of the actual credentials.
It makes it easy for people. Like,
it makes it easy for the experts. It gets
rid of everybody else that is the fluff.
And that's why I wrote the book Productize, because I wanted to empower the experts that now more than ever is your opportunity, that the playing field has been leveled, the wall has been demolished, and you being an expert with the skills, the person that's been in corporate, in meetings, the PowerPoints, the presentations, all of that structure that you've had, you're watching the 22-year-old get rich, and they don't have the experience that you don't have. But what they did was they bet on themselves to not have to go into a 9-to-5. So, but at a certain point, that 22-year-old, once they scale past $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, which we talked about, you do have to corporatize the business a little bit if you want to scale and bring in HR and like all these things. But in the beginning, they're kind of anti-corporate. But for the corporate people, it's really easy for them to become a coach or a consultant because they come equipped
100%.
with all of that. And so that, again, earning the business stuff. So now you can show and not tell.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. And I talked to you a little bit about this before we started. I came into it behind the scenes, behind the camera. Like, there was never going to be any of this. Never me in front of the camera. That was never in the plan. I was never trying to do that. I got fulfillment seeing anybody that I worked for grow. So like seeing them, the business scale, seeing their personal brand scale. I love it when I'm out and somebody recognizes the person, right? Like it's like, okay, I did my job because we're all the way in, Indianapolis. And
So even still right now, you still love that.
I love it.
So once a shooter, always a shooter.
Always. I get passion from that because it does mean that you're impacting people without even knowing it. Right. So, and because I don't work and help anybody that doesn't have real value.
Right.
Like, it'd be different if I was doing like entertainment content, right? Like, it wouldn't mean as much to me because it's like, if I go to the strip right now and interview the weirdos on the strip, I should get views, right?
Right.
There's an audience for that. It wouldn't mean anything to me if somebody saw that person out and about. It's like, you just went viral. It don't mean nothing. But because there's the individuals that I help are actually impacting people's lives, like making millionaires for people out there. That means like if somebody sees it that we never met before, or they're surprised to meet them for the first time, it means like, there's the result and there's the fruit of your labor.
Right.
And it just means that you're not doing it for no reason, right? Because again, I got a family. I just had my third child.
Congratulations.
We're doing, appreciate that. We're doing okay. Life's good here. Wife's happy. Everything's happy for me. How do I impact? And what my legacy is, how do I impact everybody else? And so my fulfillment always comes from when I see other people recognize and go, hey, I watched your video. It was great. Man, I love that. Because one, as the creator, we did something to make them pay attention.
Yeah.
Two, the information was super valuable to them. So it means that we're on track to, again, we're all trying to build our treasures.
Yeah, right? For sure. Well, that makes sense why videographers kind of flock to me too. Because I'm a very ambitious, confident entrepreneur. And so bringing that piece in is like, all right, at a certain point, it's like, wait a minute, I'm helping all these people build their brands. At some point, the light bulb does switch, which is like, I can make an impact behind this camera, but that's to one person. How do I get it and start taking that case study?
Yep.
You start seeing like, oh, this is a duplicatable thing. Like if I get the right person or I'm the right person, I can start doing this and making more impact.
Yeah, and that's what made my transition to be in front of the camera. It was like, okay, like forget that, you're helping this guy's audience. And, he's reaching who he's reaching and they're growing from there. You're also doing a disservice to everybody that needs to hear from you because of what you've been able to accomplish. And that's just how I felt. I was like, okay, I don't necessarily care anymore. Like, I can be in front of the camera now. Like, I don't care how I sound or how I look, all the stuff that you got to get over in your head. I didn't care anymore about that because all I could think about was who I was serving, like who can get something from that. And with that, I realized, okay, I got video guys that are reaching out to me like, hey, man, I love your trajectory. I've watched you since da-da-da. I'm like, you watch me? What? I've never been on. And so, but you could just see the impact. And so now there's a season where I'm like, okay, how do we even scale that? How do we reach even more people? How do we do even more? And that's just the power of the platforms and the social media. When you think about the people that you're helping, what's the ultimate goal? What do you seek to do, with your platform and what you're currently doing?
Yeah, it's one word is empowerment. So there's a mantra that I say to myself every morning when I do my morning manifesto, which is like my $1 million morning routine. And one of the last lines is I'm not waiting for permission. I'm creating the table. And so for the experts, I'm like, quit waiting for somebody to give you permission to start walking into your passion and your purpose so you can execute. Because literally that's the reason why you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach where you don't feel fulfilled, is because you're not fully stepping into it. You're using a piece of your gifts, but you're using a safety net that's keeping you bound as opposed to stepping out there and really walking into it. Because like you said, when you're out and you see somebody else recognize someone, you know that you're truly working in your purpose.
Yeah.
So for me, empowering somebody to see them raise their prices as a barber or see them go from being just in-person fitness because they think that the only way somebody can get results is if they're there standing over their shoulder. But it's the accountability and the information and the motivation and the consistency with a nutrition and accountability from the structure and the workouts that people can still get the transformation. And so that empowerment, that if you have a skill set or expertise, you can add value to the world, right? And waking people up. Like, you don't need to wait till tomorrow. You don't need to wait until your job has you come in on your off day, which everybody's got a story or something like that.
Right.
It's like you can start to build the thing while you're still working there. And then once it takes off, then you can kind of transition.
Yeah, you're describing an entrepreneur.
Yes, exactly.
You're an entrepreneur at heart, but right now you're working within another person's business. And that's where you kind of start to understand things and grow it. Because you're so right about starting before you have it. It's like, I think people tend to make the mistake in waiting until everything's perfect to say, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's apprenticeship, right? Look at it, all the great leaders from the Bible. They all were under somebody for a little bit. They served.
100%. And that's the greatest example you can have, right? Like, the disciples weren't just born disciples, right? Like they put in work and they followed and they understood what it looked like to serve, to be able to go out and lead and still be serving.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Right?
Yeah.
You're solving people's problems.
Exactly. Money changes hands when problems are solved.
That's it.
And you said something about the disciples. That's probably my favorite part, which is it was all different types of people, right? You know, the fisherman, rough and rugged type person, a person that was a persecutor, like, you know, so that just goes to show you that anybody can be used and has this expertise. And I think even for like the persecutor, he had the intensity and the passion that whatever he believed in, he went at it 100. 100%. He was all in. Give me somebody like that. Yeah. Somebody that believes strongly, that'll take massive action. And if you give them the blueprint they're going to execute, like I'll take that person 10 times out of 10.
Straight up. With that said, too, because we're using the term expert. Mm-hmm. And what I want you to define it, because I have my idea of what an expert is, but I want to hear what you, for those that are at home, and it's like, I don't necessarily feel like an expert. I'm doing this for a long time and I understand it as like an expert.
Yes. An expert is somebody that has a unique skill set to add value or impact to somebody else's life. That's a repeatable and predictable process that they're using for themselves or inside of as an entrepreneur, as a business. So for example, like somebody cutting hair is an expert at doing this. They're actually an expert at giving somebody an experience and providing confidence. Because you know how we feel when we get lined up, bro.
Yep.
Right after that, everything changed. You go in like this, but when you come out,
new man.
Yeah, you're a new person, right? For fitness, you're providing a transformation through confidence of consistent action and discipline every single day. As a corporate professional, you're going in and turning business around. You're taking systems inside of a business that are broken, that don't make sense, and you're optimizing them for profit. That's a valuable skill. If you're a corporate professional and you're getting flown to fly out to turn businesses around, and they go from making $10 million to making $40, $50 million, that sounds like that's a $10 million skill to me.
Yeah.
Right? It's worth $10 million a month or whatever it is. And so what if you could go from making $150,000 right a year to making $100,000 a month? You know what I mean? With that same skill.
Yeah, same skill set.
Right? So the expertise comes in the predictable skill to add value in some way, in a systemized way, to make an impact for somebody else.
Yeah. And I think, too, to add to that, your expertise should be solely based on your track record. And, you know, and I said this upstairs when we were talking, you got to ask yourself, why should anybody listen? Like, I had to be real with myself. Like, when I first started this, why would anybody listen to me? I haven't even told them what I've done. Right? And I realized that when I started telling them some numbers and some stats, things that I've been able to accomplish, yes, I've helped the company earn $50 million, yes, in revenue. Yes, I've done over 1 billion views on one platform. So I didn't even count the rest of them, right? So like, yes, I have that experience. I've been able to help scale multiple people's platforms and growth within a year, right? Like I can say like I've actually done those things. And then people's ears turned on.
Yeah, for sure.
But until I said it,
right,
any advice I was given was just, it wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary to that individual. Or they took it with a grain of salt and was like, yeah, that's cool, but that guy's the guy for real. Like he's the one doing the. And so I advise you, like if you're dealing with the imposter syndrome of being an expert, begin to just remind yourself what you've been able to accomplish and what you've been able to do.
Yes.
And then that will begin to change your mindset.
Yeah. And that's why I say with that manifesto to myself every single day. Because when I'm tired or it didn't work out well, or I got a charge back, or one of my clients quit, or something's going on in my life, I remind myself of who I am every single day. Say life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so instead of waiting on somebody to give you a pat on the back, I wake up every single day and I say that I lead with courage. I show up. I rule the room. I'm leading a charge for AI empowerment, for entrepreneurship. I'm unstoppable. I say that. Yeah. So now I'm ready, right? I'm ready to go out and do the work. And it inspires me because now I've changed my physiology in that space. But on the expertise side, I think that, most people are always like waiting for the sign to kind of do it. And it's like the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. And so I think that the message that if I wanted to share one message with this audience today, it's like, just get started with something small, right? It's just get started with something, whether it's the fear that you have of AI, start learning about it, start using it. If you're an expert, start figuring out what your unique skill set is, because I think that's usually the biggest thing is that most experts have a skill that they don't value because it comes easy to them. So they discredit it. Yep. And that's the thing that comes easy to you, that comes hard to other, is your zone of genius. And I learned that from Nehemiah Davis. He always say, what is the thing that comes easy to you, that comes hard to others? That's your zone of genius. And we kind of discredit that because we think that everybody else has that because it's easy to us. Mm-hmm. But the thing that's easy to you is difficult to me. Yeah. You start talking about setting up stuff and videography and ISOs and all that stuff. It's Chinese to me. These guys are talking numbers. I'm like, bro, I have no idea. Is it ready to shoot? Yep. Right? Let me talk. And so that zone of genius is what creates value in the marketplace. Where what is Myron Golden says that we're all interconnected. Mm-hmm. So the skill set that you have is the thing that I need, and the skills that I have is the thing that you need, and that exchange is where value is created.
First, shout out to Neo. Yes, here, man. Neo's great, and I actually
just saw him at the podcast summit too. Oh, yeah, we got a chance to chop it up. Yeah, that was super dope. That's how I ended up here, actually. Okay, I went to podcast summit because I was like, I need to get my message out there. Yeah. And then, you kind of messaging people back and forth. But I was telling them, it's like, that was the thing that changed. I was like, sometimes you just got to bet on yourself and get in the room. Yep. So I got there, Neo, Smitty, like, you know what I'm saying? And then Brandon Boyd. Man, Brandon Boyd is a real one. Yep. And we chopped it up the most. And then, you see people online, you don't know who's really real. It was, Marvin Francois was there. Okay. Omar was there. And I think that the thing that I took away from there was so many people who were experts in there just trying to figure it out. Yeah. And so I met Neo, we chopped it up, but then Brandon Boyd was like, okay, I think this is the next level of evolution, which is, he's like, yeah, dude, I'm doing this podcast thing, his agency. And he's like, let me know if you're ready to run and play. And I'm like, oh, I've been ready. That's why I came here. Right. And so that's kind of how we're sitting here today. That's awesome. Yeah.
No, Brendan's a great dude. One, like everybody you just named, great people to know in the business, especially when you're trying to grow personal brand. Each one of those individuals have a space that they've kind of carved out that plays a major role in some of the growth that I've seen people in the last 3 or 4 years, like scale. Like you got a really good group there to kind of learn from and know. Myron was actually out in Stream Song with us when we had our golf trip, our first Mastermind 19 trip. And he spent the day with us and golfing and did a mastermind there. And when you can have the opportunities to hear from those individuals or ask them questions, right? It's like every time they drop something, it's just gold for your ears, right? Like I asked Myron, I go, Myron, man, tell me this. I was like, and I know you're going to be humble and after I say this, I go, but you know this about yourself. I go, you're a master communicator. I go, I've watched you framework the most basic idea
and make it sound incredible, like Michael Jackson just performed.
Dude, and I was like, and understand, like me being in the space I'm in, I study people and how they communicate, and I'm watching a lot of people try to do what you do effortlessly. And I was like, well, why and what is that? Like,
yes.
How did you develop that? And his answer was so simple but so profound to me. He goes, man, I just try to make sure I speak so that I am clearly understood. I just looked at him. I go, bro, yeah. Yeah, because what you're saying is like, I framework when I make frameworks for what I'm trying to say, I make it based on who I'm speaking to. Right. And I understood what he was saying there because I was like, yeah, like there's a lot of people, especially online, that they can be good at putting thoughts into frameworks and making it sound really good. But when I hear it, I'm like, but you just said nothing.
Right. People just regurgitate
it's just a lot of
information.
Words.
Yeah.
So if I go to you, man, at the end of the day got to end. And I put some music on the background and I slow pace into that saying, there's gonna be people online that go, man, he just said a bar that just blew my mind. Right? And I'm like, and that's what I'm seeing in the content.
Platitudes is all that is.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in the content. And I'm like, man, this is getting out of hand. Like everybody's trying to do what a master communicator is doing. And then all he's trying to do is make it plain to the person that's hearing it.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah,
they're trying to look smart and he's trying to make it simple.
Make it simple. And so I'm like, I hope that people can begin to understand that it doesn't take your word. It's not like how you're saying, right. It's what you're actually saying and the value. And so I mean, there was so much more that he offered to the guys there at that event. But it's individuals like him, like Neo came through here. And believe it or not, him and Ryan got into a deep talk about faith.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like that went a different direction than what I had planned for the podcast. Uh-huh. But what I love about that is that when you're a creator and when you expose the masses to your life and it's your real life and it's true to who you are and what you're doing, you're not putting on for a camera, then those conversations come up. And those conversations get real. And those conversations, then you really begin to learn from each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Point. And there's just power in that. And so, going back to my original point of it all is if you are planning to create or planning to be the expert and leading voice in your field, be authentic to who you are. Please don't do what I just did with at the end of the day, right? I don't throw those ideas out the window. Do not go look at a Myron video and then try to regurgitate what he's saying in a different way. Don't go look at a Neo video and then try to be who Neo is with his posture and his swag. Like, don't do it. Like, be yourself and really provide value on what you have to offer.
Yeah.
In the best way that you can.
Yeah.
And I think like that, we will fare better as a community. We fare better as entrepreneurs with everybody doing that. Because I do believe that everybody has something unique to offer. Now, if you were to ask me, do I believe everybody should be doing content and on camera? That's a different conversation.
Right. Yeah, I mean, everybody has an expertise and a skill because the evidence is that it's working for you specifically. We're talking to like experts, right? So if you can get something to work, you have this skill set, and some of it may not be replicable, right? Like Myron probably can't teach you to do what he does. He can teach you to be a better speaker, but he can't teach you to be exactly like him because there's only one Myron.
Right.
But, for what you were saying, though, just to piggyback on that, is authenticity is the greatest form of trust building in today's climate, because we're in a trust recession where, Google did a study that says that it's a 7-11-4 rule that people need to consume 7 hours of content over 11 different touch points on 4 different platforms in order to go from a stranger to a paying client, which means that people need to spend time with you.
Yep.
They need to Google you, look at you on Instagram, look at you on Facebook, find you on YouTube to see if they actually like you. And I think that now more than ever makes it really easy for experts again, because if you have a proven track record, you're just showing and not telling. You're just pull out the receipts. Here's what I've done, right? For me, helping transform an antiquated insurance industry from going door to door in 2018 to in 2025, right? Going fully virtual, telesales and personal branding, right? And being responsible for over $100 million of issue pay business from my clients and generating over $20 million in sales from my personal brand. I think I know a little bit about helping somebody productize something if I'm able to do it for an entire industry and be named the king of leads. Why do I say that? It's because now I had the receipts to speak on this thing, and this is what gives me the authority. And what I realized was, if I can make this work in the hardest industry in the world, which is life insurance, that, oh, this principle can apply to other industries. And that's kind of when I had this mission. And I thought about it, but when I went to Podcast Summit is when the fire lit under me, because there was 3,000 African Americans walking around with a message to share, right? And they were just trying to figure out what their skill set was. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're missing. That's the gaping hole, which is like, what's your unique skill set? People are trying to find that. You ask them, what are you doing? I'm trying to start a podcast. What's it about? Oh, you know, they did their, basically, people are looking for the clarity.
They're trying to figure it out.
I'm like, oh, okay. So there's 3,000 experts in this one location looking for clarity to start. And that's why they hadn't started, is because they didn't have the clarity. And I'm like, that's the number one thing that I do, as I look at everything and I'm like, 80% of this we don't need to do. What's the one thing that's getting the results? Where's the asymmetry? Where's the magic in this? Where's the lever? And I'm like, oh, this is the thing that you need to focus on. And once you have clarity, action is a byproduct of clarity, right?
I love the events like Summit, because it does put everybody in the same room. And there's probably so many people like yourself that came out of there going, I get it now. I know what I got to do. I know what it is.
It gave me clarity. It 100% gave me clarity that I need to, whatever the opportunity came for somebody to put a mic in front of me to share what I need to share, whether it's $100,000 or $1 million, that opportunity to reach one person in that audience is the impact I'm going to make. And that's where my fulfillment is going to come from.
That's awesome. I want to go back a little bit though, because I'm going to get to your book. You're adding author to your name now, right? And I want to get to that. But I just want to go to the beginning, right? We talked, you know, I'm a Southside kid from Chicago.
Jeffrey Manor, baby. Let's go. Shout out to the shots. 60617 for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want you to describe to me how that shaped who you've become today.
Well, coming from an environment where you're kind of in the jungle, the first thing is you had to always have this just unsettling awareness, right? And a lot of people around you when you're younger, they're talking and just telling you a bunch of stuff that's not going to resonate until the moment happens where you need to know it. And you're like, I remember Uncle said that. You're like, oh, this is that situation right here. So it allowed me to mentally be prepared for any type of situation, because that's how you were in Chicago. It's like you leave out of your house with this game plan and you can end up in a completely different situation. Now, at the time, right, that didn't feel like a great situation, right? But as I'm in entrepreneurship, I realized that my confidence and the ability for me to take massive action has come from, I've already been through everything. I've already seen everything. So for me to survive that and get to 25 and still be alive and leave Chicago and come here, it shaped that. I've already been through the toughest things in my life. So entrepreneurship isn't going to kill me. So even if it doesn't work out, I'm good. And let's see, it also allowed me to use my intuition to guide everything that I do. So when it don't feel great, I'm out. I'm already out. I don't need to question it at all. And when it feels, my intuition is like, yes, I'm in 100%, right? And so that has really shaped me with entrepreneurship. But the truth is, when I started out, I didn't realize that those were the things that I was going to be able to use. And you know, in Chicago too, you have to be master communicator too. You got to have a mouthpiece, right? You got to be able to talk yourself in and out of situations.
100%.
So, you know, coming from that, like, I'm able to relate in all type of situations, but I'm also getting experience and getting exposed to a bunch of situations. And Chicago was really, 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 really fast. From the age 14, my mom was a LPN and she worked at the Cook County Jail. So, and then she worked on 35th and Wabash as a caseworker. So I'm at De La Salle right across the street, and she takes me to school, and then I get done. Then 3 to 11, she's at the county, or 26th of California, right? So from age probably 11 or 12, she's starting to do that. So I'm taking care of myself. And then once I'm in high school, I'm pretty much on my own after I get out of school. So I've been taking care of myself, you know, in the evening since I was 14 years old. Well, that gave me some self-reliance that if I'm able to do it as a 14-year-old and still survive on the South Side of Chicago, and I'm going from 35th in Michigan all the way back to 103rd and Calhoun and Torrance, right? So I'm going through all type of different neighborhoods. I'm getting on 35th Street bus, then I'm getting on the 1 through Hyde Park, then I gotta get on the 6 on 79th Street to get back to Jeffrey Manor. Yeah. So I done came through all different type of neighborhoods, and on the bus, let's just be honest, you getting off on different stops. I'm seeing people getting dragged off the bus, pulled off the bus from different neighborhoods. And back then it wasn't more about gangs; it was about the school you went to. Right. So I'm seeing all of that, and I'm like, I wear a shirt and tie, so I'm just a walk-in lit. So I got to bring an extra set of clothes in the backpack, because I'm going for education and I'm kind of smart, and I got to go back to the South Side. So preparation, also attention to detail, making sure that I got that, my awareness is really high. I have to become this apex predator in the wild that, in the moments that nothing going on, I'm good. Right. But when it's time to go, it's go time. And so that allowed me in entrepreneurship to see opportunities and danger at the same time and use my intuition.
Yeah, I think what you said is so accurate to growing up there and understanding that I've seen the worst and been in situations that were the worst. So this stuff feels so easy.
Dude, it's so easy.
It feels so easy.
You can't get up and do X, Y, and Z for this, bro. Please.
Come on. My motivation is there's no resistance. All I have to do is do my part, and things are going to work in God's favor there. He's going to do the rest of the work for me. I love what you said about having intuition. I always say, my discernment allows me to know you before we actually begin to speak to each other. I can, being a Chicago guy.
Reading people right off the jump. You're like, no, I'm out, bro. You're like, what you doing, bro? Nah, Joe, I'm gone.
You can feel it. Mm-hmm. You can feel it. And it's hard to explain.
You can't explain it unless you've been in Chicago. Yeah. Everybody in Chicago got that same trait. It's like, nah, bro, we need to dip. Yep. We out.
Yep.
What you mean? No.
When.
Come on, bro, let's go.
You got to know when. And so it's it makes this side of it so much easier, because there's what others will be kind of worried and scared about.
We fearless, bro.
I'm but if that's what you worried about, this ain't for you.
Well, that's why everybody loved Derrick Rose. We got to see that, right? Yeah. We got to see somebody coming from Julian, right? From the ugliest parts of the city to just go out there and play a kid's game with King Ransom and just see the fearlessness in which he did it.
Yep. And so there's so much power in understanding where you're from and what it actually put in you. Yeah, was it, like you said, when you were in it, it wasn't that best of a situation. You were like, man, you were trying to get out. But for those that can find an opportunity to do something else, right? Now it's up to you.
Yeah.
How do you use the things that you've been able to learn, or things that are already ingrained in who you are from where you come from? Because I see both sides, man. I've seen people, either they decide to just stay that crab in that barrel and don't even take a chance at trying to do something different. Or I see the individual that gets out, they do find another place to go, and they do have an opportunity, and they blow the opportunity because they just can't see how good it is. It's almost as if the easy is uncomfortable, right? Now it's hard to trust it because it doesn't feel as hard as it was back home. So it just don't feel right. And they get stuck in that kind of mentality of if it's not dangerous, if it's not tough, if it's not hard, then I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's right.
Yeah, dude, we're so addicted to the grind culture and hustling. And that's what I literally just talked about that this morning, which is Price Pritchett wrote a book, and I take it everywhere I go, called The Quantum Leap Theory, and then U Squared. So Quantum Leap was the first book, and then U Squared is the second book. And he talks about making a quantum leap, which is an asymmetrical exchange to go from a 1 to a 10, right? Like from a 1x to a 10x. Mm-hmm. And we're so used to climbing the ladder of success, taking one step to kind of get somewhere, instead of taking the elevator, right? Which is that parabolic growth. And we're addicted to the grind, which is if it feels easy, it always seems too good to be true. Yeah. And Myra Golden talk about this all the time, right? It's you've been lied to and told that the get rich quick is the scam, but the work hard for the rest of your life is the American dream. And we've bought that lie. And so if you're always looking for the hard, difficult ways to do something, because that's all you know. So when people leave, it's almost uncomfortable that it's too quiet in the neighborhood.
Not enough.
There ain't nothing going on because you've just been so conditioned that that noise gives you a certainty because you feel like you got control if you need to kind of turn up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it happens to me too. Like from being from Chicago, I can't, some places, some things I can't do to relax. Like I can't fall asleep on the beach.
Yeah, no.
Because I always got to be.
Way. No way. Hey, never that couple.
Yes, to where I can't fall asleep on the beach.
Yeah.
But again, leaving and then going somewhere else, I was just curious about what else was kind of going on outside of the South Side of Chicago. Mm-hmm. Because when I left, it was Jordan's, the Bulls, it was Heine's Pizza, mm-hmm. It was chips and mustard hot sauce, mm-hmm. and everything was Chicago, nothing like Chicago, nothing like Chicago,
man,
right?
My heroes, man.
Yeah, and Harold's with the 3-piece mild and hot sauce, fry hard with lemon pepper, right? So, but that was all I knew. Yeah. And then when I left, I was like, huh. And the first thing that ever messed me up, right, was I went to Fisk University. And I met a black person that looked just like me and you, mm-hmm. and they had an accent. Mm. And I was like, what? It blew my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it opened my eyes. It was like, I kind of been in this vacuum or this kind of shelter thing, and I'm missing out on some experience. And so I was like, what other things are out there in the world that I think is just like this in this one place that I can kind of explore? And from there, I just always been a curious person on, like, you know, just everything, just like I wanted how. So you can't just tell me, hey, go and do something. I'm always like, why? Why is it that way? Yeah. You know what I mean? And so from doing that curiosity has led me into entrepreneurship, because I'm always curious why something is the way it is. And then I realize it's a problem. Mm-hmm. So the way I got into entrepreneurship is I was selling life insurance, and we're going door to door, business to business, canvassing neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And my question is why do we do it this way? Right? I'm like, why do we do it this way? Or has nobody else tried to figure out how to solve this? Yeah. And that's what led me down the path of trying to figure out how to use social media and digital marketing. So I'm being a life insurance agent, and I'm making a list of 200 people to call, friends and family, and doing the warm market networking. But there's 3 billion active users on social media. And I got about this time, probably like 2,000 people on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I went to Fisk University, and right across the street is Meharry, Emory, and I can't think of the other one. And in Atlanta, have 90% of all the black doctors in the US. And if I'm selling insurance, like I want to try to connect with them. So I just started using my social network, and I'm like, okay, this is too manual to do. I need to find some type of automated system. So I found one Chrome browser tool on LinkedIn I was able to use. Okay. And so I can start sending out automated messages to people, so I can go and do my thing and come back. Right. And I got 100 messages to reply to, and now I can batch doing this. And then now I got a system to do lead gen. Yep. But then that was too slow because I could only send out 100 messages. So I'm like, okay, this works, but I needed to shift vehicles. And I was like, Facebook. Yeah. So that's when I had to learn Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. And that's where my mentor, and I found Sam Ovens, who owns School with Alex Hormozi. Yep. And so that was my mentor to teach me digital marketing. He's the godfather of high ticket coaching, right? Yep. So I learned how to do social media marketing, and that's when it took off. And so I went from having a problem for myself and being curious and asking that question, like, why? And then I'm like, entrepreneurs, I spot a hustle. I'm like, wait a minute. If I can solve this for me, all y'all are going to be my customers. And I'm like, I think I got an opportunity.
Yeah, because if I'm asking, so are they.
Yeah. I'm sitting right next to you. I know what you're doing because I'm copying you, and it's not working for either one of us. Right. So then at that point, I think the moment where the reason why I'm so passionate about not waiting for permission is because the moment that I started getting the social media to work, I get a knock on the cubicle. Alan, the attorney at this captive company that I'm working at, calls me to the office and say, hey man, congratulations on the success you've had. And this is probably like my biggest month, but it looks like you're using social media to get these leads and clients, and you can't do that. And so I'm like, wait a minute. Now, mind you, I just wrote like a $6,000 case. So I'm about to get paid at that time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole rent and everything for the month. So I'm like, cool. And so now you want me to go back to what isn't working that I've been struggling with. Right. About to get a divorce. My wife is like, you lying to me every time. This deal's about to happen. Ain't no money coming in.
It's the word.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there at dinner, can't even taste the food, thinking about this sale that was supposed to come through that didn't, and I got to act like it's okay. Right. To now it's starting to work, and I can't use social media. So I'm like, oh, I know what's about to happen. It's time. Yeah. So that was my thing.
That was the push you needed.
Yes, that was the push I needed. And from then, the rest is history. You know, 12 to 1,500 lives have been impacted as an insurance agent, but what about all the people that they covered over that $100 million? Had I stayed there, I would have only been able to impact 100 people with me doing that, but I impacted millions. And that's kind of where this journey started, with that curiosity, figured out a problem, and then I picked up the cross to bear as somebody to solve that problem and find a solution.
Yeah.
And that's really how this whole thing started.
Wow. No, man, it's incredible that you saw the window and you opened it and you took that breath and was like, all right, this is it. I have a system, because that's what it is. I got you. I have a system that makes sense to what I'm trying to do here. And if this system can work for me, it can also work for others. And sometimes you do need the individual to go that's not ready for the new.
Right.
That's what it is. It's like right now, I have some of my clients, I'm integrating some AI that we developed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, hey, we're going to use this, right? Like, because whoever's doing your thumbnails and your SEO, I see they're just using Chat GPT, but they don't even know how to prompt it. Whereas if you use ours, the prompts are already there for you. It's going to work perfectly. And now we're millions of views later, right? But when I first told them that, it was, I don't know, man, like, what they're doing is pretty good. It's like, it's because you haven't seen great yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so their worry was, if I've let them go and let you do this, what if you don't work?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been used to it. And so there's a lot of fear there, but you're just not ready for the new. You think that the individual that you're paying to be next to you for 8 hours a day is better because you can talk to them. I guarantee you what I'm going to give you is going to be better than anything.
Right.
And so after they saw it, they was like, oh yeah, you were right. I was like, yeah. And now you found another opportunity for this person in your company. So you didn't have to even let them go. But you also, you save money on this budget because here you are. It's going to give you exactly what you need.
Fact.
You were ahead of the time on social media for them to understand that this is the way it's going to have to go.
Yeah. But the thing about it, though, to go back to the Chicago thing, right? And like, just to be honest, like being a black male in this country, like, the narrative that's kind of around us, ironically, is negative, but the culture is the foundation of all social media is rooted in hip hop culture, right? So that gave me resilience, because when I first started in this industry, everybody was like, the guru thing wasn't cool for insurance. They was like, this is never going to work.
Right.
And people was, it wasn't well received, but I had that confidence that I seen the opportunity. I had that ambition. And then I wasn't worried about what anybody was saying, because I'm like, I'm going to show them. Mm-hmm. And eventually, 7 years later, it's radically transforming the industry. But to your point, it's like, you don't know what great is. I'm like, no. There's a better way to do this. My message was, there's a more effective and efficient way to do what you're doing. And that's what I'm saying to the experts today, is there's more impact that you could have that's more effective and efficient, that gives you back your time so you can stop trading your time for money, make more impact, and do it with simplicity, which leveraging AI. You can package your skill set and knowledge, productize it, and then with the leverage of AI, you can reach more people. Like you're saying, just with the thumbnail, 100%. You're getting more views. And people don't think about it like that. And being able to utilize these systems, right? Even with the messaging, simplifying and making it more concise, using things that you didn't know, a different angle. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when I'm using AI, I have a thought and I just like, let's make this more clear. Is this tangible enough? Yeah. And then it's manifested. Now I'm like, give me a vision of this. And then who else has something similar to this so I can see if this works. And then I kind of reverse engineer that. Mm-hmm. And now I got this idea that's already kind of proven that it works. And now I just need to follow the steps of success.
Yeah. And for the creators, that's exactly how we plan our videos. It's that same process. You're reversing it.
It's first principles. That's what that is. It's first principles theory.
I got to ask you this too. And this is kind of shifting gears here. At the end of it all, what do you want your legacy to look like?
I want my legacy to be that any person, specifically, I'll just talk for me, for any young black male out there to see that it doesn't matter what you're going through, what mistakes you've made, the challenges that you faced, the people who've left you, all of those things can turn into superpowers. Mm. That every adversity is also an opportunity. And where there is adversity lies opportunity. And it's the people who choose to look at the obstacles that they've had to overcome in their life. They can choose to look at it in a positive or a negative way. A negative way is a way that'll keep you the same. It'll keep you stuck. It'll keep you small-minded. It'll keep you closed-minded. And more importantly, it will keep you jaded to the opportunity that's sitting right next to you. Or you can look at it the positive way, which is this is a prerequisite that is built for entrepreneurship to give you stability, confidence, and the sturdiness, because entrepreneurship is tough. Yeah. All the things that are kind of going on in business, all the crevices of the doubts or the traumas or whatever you have going on personally, it exposes all of those things. And in life, you need to have a solid foundation of concrete. And for all those people that's been through all of those stuff, you a concrete rose that you grew up. And I got that from Tupac. I thought that was the most beautiful thing that explained what we did coming out of the belly of the beast, that you are a concrete rose, that something also beautiful can grow from the concrete. And for you to stand up and show that mission of resilience, that if you even made it through that, that's already a testament and a result in this instance. And then when you find or you get your shot, take it.
And from two people with this experience, I'm going to say this. Turn your pain into progress, and with preparation, you will prevail.
Come on now.
Use that as power. It's your power. These are your superpowers.
It is.
And so you must use it. I want to give you the floor, an opportunity to shout out your book.
Okay.
Let people know where they can get it. Let them know where they can follow you and get a hold of you if they want to partner in some way.
Yeah. So the easiest way to partner with me is going to be to just follow me on Instagram. A lot of times I'll try to send people to a lead magnet, but I want people to see for themselves. Is Arturo the real deal? Go watch some YouTube videos. Go look me up on Instagram. Go follow me there. And then you can go to productized.vip if you want to check out the book. And so the book is Productize, the one-person business blueprint for experts, coaches, and consultants. And so this book is a book of how, if you're an expert or if you have a home service-based business or you're a coach or a consultant, and you're tired of trading your time for money, and you know that the game that you're playing at a small level, but you also know that the window is closing, that you can't do what you're doing forever and something needs to change. Maybe this is the catalyst for you. Maybe something that is coming up with a project that just got thrown on your desk, or maybe you're behind a camera that's too heavy that you're working all these hours building other people's brands, that you need to have something else that works and makes money for you when you're not making money. And you know that the only leverage that you have is when you're doing the job. AI and productizing your expertise is the ultimate leverage, that in one instant you can make one decision, and within 7 days you can have launched something that can start to pay you perpetually and make an impact on thousands of people. So if you're somebody like that and you know that you want to play at a higher level, you have a bigger calling and you want to make more impact, follow me on Instagram or go to productize.vip/masterclass. Check it out.
All right. With that, we'll put all those links down below. You'll be able to tap in. Make sure y'all go follow him and show some support. Like the video, comment what you thought about it. Maybe we get him back and we can really get into some more information, because I really want to sit down with you separate outside of this moment and really get into some things I'm seeing in AI, and I really want to know what you see.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe we do another one. Maybe I come out there to you and maybe we get some stuff shot.
Yeah, because I got a podcast studio too. So we can do that. This is dope, man. Well, thanks for having me. This has absolutely been incredible, and platform that you're building, and the way that I can feel how inspired you are from being a part of this, that you're kind of ascending too. So I can feel that this is just the beginning for you too.
I'm just getting started, man.
Yeah.
So from here. All right, man. It's been another episode of What's the Creator Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. I thank you for watching. Check you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah.
My guy.
Yes, sir.
That's fun.